So if you're looking at increasing lead flow for the business, then you're potentially looking at outbound, which is either cold calling, LinkedIn outreach, it's emailing, for example. These are just methods of outbound that you can use to scale up your lead flow. And essentially what that is offering the right offer to the right person at the right time. That's essentially what outbound is in a nutshell. And the first part of getting this right is to understand, okay, well, where are we going to target our efforts? Who are we reaching out to, and what are we going to sell them? And maybe you're a company, you've got like a variety of different people that you work with. That's great because that means you've got a broad market. You've got a lot of, different areas you can go to. But ideally, you want to have a target to aim at so that you can put your efforts in that direction or reach out to them. Okay. And so let's say this is your offer here, and let's say you sell systems, hygiene systems, or you sell an engineering service where you get a product from concept all the way through to manufacturing ready or handoff. And you're reaching out to a specific type of company. So it could be, automotive companies or CPG companies or whatever. You want to understand, okay, what are the type of companies that you're working with? What industry are they in? And also, who is the person that is the decision maker at that company? So right now I'm working heavily in the manufacturing space, and I have a client right now they have a system that works on the line that identifies defects for various different companies. And we work with CPG companies, but also automotive companies. But the problem is that automotive companies, there's a lot more hoops to jump through as opposed to working with CPG companies. There's a lot more decision makers. There's a lot more competitive difficulties there because a lot of competitors work very, very closely with this industry. But knowing this is super important because once we know what's got traction and what's already selling, so who have you got the base case studies with, who do you like to work with, then what you can do is with outbound, you can find more people like this and then reach out to them. So whether it's QA managers, whether it's finance directors, that kind of thing. And also you can use outbound to test new markets, test new offers, that kind of stuff. So essentially we look at it this way, what's already selling, what's got traction already. And what you can do is you can replicate that and duplicate that because you know the messaging, you know what is working. Also, what does the sales cycle look like? Is it a lot longer? Does it have to go through multiple decision makers for them to get their buy-in before they sign off? What are the barriers to selling? Do you need certifications? Do you need to be government certified? Do you need to be FDA approved? Whatever. But also, why would they buy this? This is an important question to answer, is if we're reaching out to somebody, why would they take time out of their day to respond or to show interest to your offer when they're already working with a competitor? So what pain points do you solve? Why would they buy this over a competitive product? They're all questions that you need to understand and answer before actually reaching out to them. I mean, you can do outreach to understand this as well, but ideally you want to know this before you go out there. So what do you sell them in terms of if you're reaching out to them? So let's say this is your main offer, and let's take the example of the engineering company that has the service of getting a product from concept all the way through to manufacturing handoff. Maybe this is the main offer. Now that's the kind of service you can sell between 40 to 100K. I know I have clients that do that, but maybe this is much harder to sell, a hard sell, because it has to be, go through multiple decision makers. It needs a lot of people to sign off on this. And obviously 50 grand is a lot of money, right? Whereas maybe you've got something that is an easier step into this. This is like the foot in the door in a way, a low ticket offer. So that could be just the CAD design or something like that. Or material validation or market research or something like that. And that's 500 to $1,000. Something very small that's easy to sign off on, but essentially is the next logical step is for them to buy this offer because they've got this validated. But And you'll probably get more people that will buy this than they will buy this. That's for sure. That's what will happen. But maybe this is too much of an ask, and you want to get more people interested. You want to build up the pipeline to fill them into this offer to then send them here. Well, then you can give them what's called a HVCO, which is like a high value content offer, or a lead magnet. It comes under many names, but essentially this is free. This is like the pinky and door in the way. This is offering them value upfront that satisfies a specific need straight away. This could be, let's say somebody is considering designing a new product. Well, what are the pitfalls that they need to avoid that you could help them with? You can give them a guide. It could be a video. It could be a short course on what are the problems that they could encounter and how to overcome them upfront. So I hope that makes sense. This is kind of very high level. It's not as technical in a way, but this is just a very much of an overview of offer to ICP, who we're reaching out to, getting this right so that you can replicate this success here. What you're selling, the main questions to consider. And also, what are you selling as well? This is super important to understand, because the more specific you get, the better that the more success you will have with your outreach message, whether that is cold calling, whether that is emailing, whether that is LinkedIn outreach. So yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to help. All the best.